Hello, BookTube. Well, I'm back. Frida and I are back. We went away. Those of you who haven't been watching the channel religiously, we went up to Vermont, to the old farmhouse in Vermont, underneath a brooding wooded hill right next to a rushing stream. And we were treated like royalty. It was wonderful. We had a blast, an absolute blast. And I found some books, and I found a bunch of other stuff. I made a sort of a shopping list of non-book items that I was looking for. Because, you know, you've got cars, you've got willing hosts, and you've got thrift shops everywhere. So I made a list of items that I would want, and there were no books in the mail. There were no sirens. There was no construction noise. And while I was gone, and while we were enjoying the daylights out of ourselves, mail was accumulating here. So I just, those of you who have seen, I just did, I'm trying to split this into two. I just did a mail haul of the non-boxes. And I actually have a whole stack of boxes as well. So I separated them out. We're going to do all the boxes now, and then we'll be caught up with the mail except for what comes today. Which I might wait on, because I'm not sure how many videos I want to film today. I'm still acclimating. I'm still undergoing what a friend of mine used to refer to as the cultural bends. As I came back from another world, and that other world was wonderful in a totally different way. I mean, I try to make this place wonderful for my own needs, but the old farmhouse, that you know, just a raucous, loving family that were willing to dote on me and my little bean, that was wonderful in its own way. so it's taking a little adjusting. A little bit later today, if it isn't too warm, I think what I will do is overfeed Frida just a bit and also take her on a long walk in the cemetery. Nice and quiet, long walk. Not the weekend. There'll be nobody there. It's very pretty. To really sort of tire her out. Right now she's full of nervous overexcitement. But physical exhaustion helps. It does wonders. If she's physically exhausted, she'll sleep all night long and she'll be right as rain in the morning. So anyway, let's see. See that? Sirens. There were no sirens in tiny little dirt road Vermont. There were no sirens. So you have some sort of problem, you just die. So let's see. This is the first one. I'm going to have a lot of cardboard to dispose of here. Okay, what is this? Does it have a pub sheet? No, it does not. Okay, no idea when this comes out. This looks like an indie publication, and a very nice-looking one, too. This is by Stephen Max Russo, and it has a killer of a title, no pun intended. This is called The Dead Don't Sleep. All right, so I'm guessing we have a zombie novel here. Let's see. Once a professional soldier, an aging warrior learns that though the war is long over, the fight is not. Frank Thompson, a recent widower and Vietnam veteran, is down from Maine visiting his nephew and his nephew's family in New Jersey. While at a trap range, they have a chance encounter with a strange man who claims to remember Frank from the war. Jasper, Birdie, and Pogo were part of a psychopathic squad of killers put together by the CIA and trained by special forces to cause death and mayhem during the war. That chance encounter has put these three men on a collision course with the man who trained them to kill. Now they have banded together, driven by revenge, retribution, and the nostalgic bloodlust to hunt down and eliminate the professional soldier who led them all those years ago. Okay, so it's not zombies. What on earth was that? That was a bird call of some kind. I'm not going to get up, but obviously we have a newcomer at our bird bath. Wow, all right, so this is, it sounds like Rambo on steroids. This is, he trained them to be rule-breaking psychotic killers. He is not psychotic, I guess, I would gather from that description, but they are, and they have found him. Now this advanced copy, it actually looks really good. I've got dodgy light here for this first day back. But this is from Down and Out Books, and the inside flap, the immediate inside flap said advanced reading copy not for sale. So this may be new. It's got a 2019 pub date. It sounds really good. So that's a great way to start. That's our first box, is an indie book. Let's see if this next one is. All boxes. Good Lord. They're going to cover the floor. What have we got here? Very good. Okay. Very good. I actually read this. This comes out on October 1st. That actually sounds like a bird of prey out there. But a hawk wouldn't come to a bird bath, right? No way. There's no way. Now I'm curious to know, but I'm not going to. It's probably just a dumb blue jay. This is by Svetlana Lokova, and it's The Spy Who Changed History in a finished copy. I have a feeling most of these boxes will be finished copies. On a sunny September day in 1931, Soviet spy Stanislav Shumovsky walked down the gangplank of the SS Europa and into New York, concealed in a group of 65 Soviet students. Joseph Stalin had sent him to acquire American secrets to help close the USSR's yawning technology gap, and the road to victory began in the classrooms and laboratories of MIT. Right up the road from me. Using information gleaned from this mission, the U.S. Oh my God, I just caught myself saying that. In Vermont, everybody says all the time, "Oh yeah, it's right up the road," and it's 30 miles away. The MIT is not right up the road from me. It's reachable in the inside of a day. I should put it that way. I must purge Vermontisms from my speech now that I'm no longer there. It's not right up the road. Using information gleaned from this mission, the USSR first transformed itself into a military powerhouse able to defeat Nazi Germany. Then, in 1947, American innovation infiltrated by Shumovsky made it possible to build and unveil the most strategic bomber in the world. Later, other MIT-trained Soviet spies would go on to acquire the secrets of the Manhattan Project. I thought this was terrific. Absolutely terrific. So, this comes out on October 1st, and I'm kind of hoping... I don't know. It's hard for me to read. I feel like I've been away for a year. It's hard for me to tell, but I'm kind of hoping that book review editors all across the country have this on their radar. I'm hoping it gets widely reviewed because that will translate to wide sales, and it deserves them. All right, let's move on here. What is this next one? It's a squat thing. It's going to resist me. My package opening skills are a little rusty. What have we got here? It's a squat little thing. Oh, wonderful. Oh, my. Okay, this is lovely. I like this author, too. Great. Okay, I haven't read this book. This comes out in late September. This is Coming Home for Christmas by Rianne Thain, a romance novel. She's terrific. She is so enjoyable. And what is this? This is... she takes readers back to the beloved town of Haven Point in her latest holiday novel, which comes out in late September. Building on a mystery teased in The Cottages on Silver Beach, which I really liked. This latest installment in the wildly popular Haven Point series follows Luke Hamilton as he attempts to reconnect with his wife, Elizabeth, who has finally resurfaced after having been missing for many years. I'm going to have to find my copy of The Cottages on Silver Beach and reread it. I am pretty sure I don't remember it well enough to launch right into this book. Otherwise I would, because it's right around the corner. We're in September. And I'll use it as a palate cleanser. I'm sure there's going to be some grim stuff in this mail haul. So let's see. Let's see what the next one is. Nice and heavy, probably a hardcover finished copy. I'm just going to make an indiscriminate mess on the floor and then pick it up after myself. What have we got here? It's fighting me. It's fighting me. It's needing to be destroyed in order to be opened. Oh, from the great folks at Princeton University Press. This is a finished copy. My September shelves are going to take a beating here, I can tell. We saw this already. This is by Eric Weitz, and it is A World Divided, the global struggle for human rights in the age of nation-states. This is going to get reviewed everywhere. And this comes out in early September. And we read about it before, but just in case some of you don't remember. Once dominated by vast empires, Princeton. That's better. Once dominated by vast empires, the world is now divided into close to 200 independent countries with laws and constitutions proclaiming human rights. A transformation that suggests that nations and human rights inevitably develop together. But the reality is far more problematic, as Eric Weitz shows in this compelling global history of the fate of human rights in the world of nation-states. And it seems totally intriguing to me. I've dipped my toe into it and liked sort of the general tone, but once again, I have no idea. So I need to get to it, because these are all going to be September books, good lord. Well, it's the kind of cold water in the face, rude awakening that you're supposed to get when you come back from a vacation in which you've idled away. Although, I was kind of good. I don't know, my host will say something different, but I was kind of good on this vacation when it comes to being idle. I mean, we did a lot, we had lots of adventures, but I also got a lot done. I got a lot of work done. I have deadline writing all the time, and I did not shirk it. I did quite a bit of it there on the couch. Let's see here. Listening the whole time. We were just updating ourselves all the time on Hurricane Dorian. This monster storm that just refuses to go away. Let's see what this next one is. A finished copy, once again. Oh, now see, this is going to happen. These are not just going to be finished copies. Quite a few of them will be finished copies of things that I didn't get an advance copy for, and this is one of those. This is by David Sorkin, and it is called Jewish Emancipation, A History Across 5 Centuries. There we go. That is what it looks like. Sorry for the dodgy light. No way to avoid it. I'm not going to reset everything up when I've got so much to do. What was the most important event in modern Jewish history? Most people might answer the Holocaust or the founding of the State of Israel, but David Sorkin argues that these events, while colossal, were both reactions to what he calls modern Jewish history, to what he calls modern Jewish history's principal and interminable event, emancipation. That is interesting. That is interesting. Oh my. Emancipation, the process by which Jews became citizens in the modern world, was not a one-time event. It took place in Enlightenment France, in 19th century Central Europe, in revolutionary Russia, in colonial Middle East, and in the post-war North Africa, and in 20th century America. And it's not linear. Just as rights could be granted to a religious minority, they could also be taken away. In this first global history of emancipation, the author, who's a historian at Yale, shows how Jews around the world gained, retained, lost, and recovered citizenship over the last 500 years. Incredible. Incredible. This is September 10th. This is right around the corner, and this is now way at the top of my list. That sounds fascinating. Oh, boy. Okay. All right. We looked at every thrift shop that we went to in Vermont. We looked for a hat like that. I want to wear one. No luck. Let's see. Let's see what this next one is. Fantastic. Oh, I'm going to have trouble prioritizing these things. Maybe I just won't. I mean, the alcohol flowed freely when we were in Vermont. We had a wonderful, chatty time. But there won't be anything like that here. So maybe I will just read all night long. Let's see. Let's see. Oh, God help us. Oh, my God. Okay, what is this? What is this? Somebody had to send me these. I hope that you and Frida enjoy my books. Signed, Flora. And these are dog books. Flora Ann is the author of 2 Pug books. They're Pug Pals books. First one is Two's a Crowd. And the other one is Yay for Vacay, which really hits home with me and Frida. So this is a dedicated pug owner doing adventures of pugs. Oh my. Oh, these look wonderful. They look wonderful to read, and also to read to 2 kids. I'm going to enjoy reading these 2 kids. Thank you so much for your books. That is fantastic. All right. Boy, these are almost welcome home presents, aren't they? In both mail hauls, they've been gifts. That's fantastic. I don't really deserve you people. So let's see. This is another one from Princeton. A lot of these boxes are Princeton. And this is another finished copy of something that I did not get the advance copy for. This comes out in late September. Oh my. I know someone who's going to want this book. I'll put it in the mail tomorrow. It's by Ryan Patrick Hanley. It's called Our Great Purpose, Adam Smith on Living a Better Life. That's our guy in the background there. Adam Smith is best known today as the founder of modern economics. But he was also an uncommonly brilliant philosopher who was especially interested in the perennial question of how to live a good life. Our Great Purpose is a short and illuminating guide to Smith's incomparable wisdom on how to live well, written by one of today's leading Smith scholars. Okay. All right. It will take me exactly half an hour to read this thing, and then I will pop it in the mail to an interested party. All right. So let's move on here. What's this next one? What have we got here? Oh, fantastic. Oh, great. Okay, this comes out in the 1st of October. This is by Lawrence Ellsworth. This is his translation of 20 Years After by Alexander Dumas. Anything to the light here? Anything at all? No? No? No. Well, I'll list the books if I remember, and then you can look it up online. But Lawrence Ellsworth has been doing, for Pegasus Books, he has been doing Dumas translations that are just amazing. They are just incredibly good. Now, that is actually dark. You actually can't see that at all. Okay. Well, it doesn't matter. This is illustrated. All these volumes have been illustrated. This is like his 4th or 5th one. I have been praising the daylights out of these to everyone all the time that I've been getting them. At black and white illustrations throughout. And this just continues that. Yeah, one of my praise for the Red Sphinx is on the back of this thing. Great. Okay. So this is... and one of my... okay, that's a little... Is that going to be on the inside? That's a little embarrassing in a sort of embarrassment of riches way. No. Okay. How funny. All right. On the back cover of the book, where all booktubers need to keep looking, right? I am blurbed for the Red Sphinx, which is one of the ones that he did, and on the pub sheet, I am blurbed for a different book, so a different translation of his. So this is The Three Musketeers, Alexander Dumas's most famous and enduring book. Completed its serial publication in the summer of 1844, and by the time of its book publication at the end of that year, readers were already demanding a sequel. They got it, starting in January 1845, when the first chapters of 20 Years After began to appear, but it wasn't quite what they were expecting. When 20 Years After opens, it's 1648. The Red Sphinx, Cardinal Richelieu, is dead. France is ruled by a regency in the grip of civil war, and across the English Channel, the monarchy of King Charles I hangs by a thread. As D'Artagnan will find, these are problems that can't be solved with a sword thrust. It's good that they put that right in the pub sheet. They probably put it right on the dust jacket as well, because it's good to remind readers of that. Otherwise, many readers get caught by surprise by the drastic change in tone and tempo and style of optimism in this book. This is a new translation of 20 Years After. I want all this guy's work. I want it all. They're fantastic. Fantastic. All right. Okay. We are now at the end. This huge box is the bottom. It's the end. So this is how are we doing? We're doing all right for time. These were fairly painless as far as the length of videos goes. They feel short compared to the videos that Mark and I did in Vermont. But let's see what this one is. Big thick thing. All sorts of air packaging. For what? What is the thing at the heart of it all? Oh my. Oh, ho, 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 ho. Oh my. Oh, okay, this is the paperback release of a book that I don't think I got in hardcover. If I did, I didn't keep it. This comes out in early September. I'm going to reread this. This wins over everything. Oh my. Oh my. Okay, this is by Mark Purcell. This is called The Country House Library. The Country House Library. This is just a study, heavily illustrated study of libraries in country houses. Look at that. Oh my God. You can't really make it out. What a horrible time to have bad lighting. Look at that. Oh my. This is a very nicely made big display paperback. What have we got here? Beginning with new evidence that cites the presence of books in Roman villas, and concluding with the present-day vicissitude of collecting, this generously illustrated book presents a complete survey of British and Irish country house libraries. Replete with engaging anecdotes about owners and librarians, the book features fascinating information on acquisition bordering on obsession, the process of designing library architecture, and the care and neglect of collections in those houses. And this is from Yale. It comes out in a paperback. What is this going to be? This is going to be, it has French flaps. It's a really durable thing. It's going to be $35, but in this case, it's worth it for the paperback. So if you are interested, and why wouldn't you be? And maybe the hardcover at $75 was a bit pricey. This is the one for you then to get. Oh man. Okay, fantastic. What a way to end. All right. So that is it. That is our Vacation Mail Haul Part 2. So I don't know if I can make a stack for all these. They're fairly big. We have the Country House Library in trade paperback. We have 20 Years After by Alexander Dumas. We have Our Great Purpose about Adam Smith. We have 2 Pug books sent to me very nicely by the author. We have Jewish Emancipation about what the author sees as the big event in Jewish history in the last 500 years. A World Divided. This is the finished copy of A World Divided by Eric Weitz about nations and the disposal, the dissemination of human rights. The Spy Who Changed History. Coming Home for Christmas by Rianne Thane. And last, but certainly not least, The Dead Don't Sleep by Stephen Max Russo. An action military novel of a type that sounds very good. So that is the second part of this enormous mail haul. Now I've just got to deal with all of this stuff. Somehow, I made the mistake before I left. I got a massive mail shipment before I left. Right before I left. I mean, the morning of my departure. And I piled it all on I'm using a stool as a kind of an end table over on the couch. I was looking for an actual small bookcase or table of some kind and didn't find one. The stool is about to give out. It's not strong enough for putting 200 pounds on it every week. But I stacked those books on that stool right before I left. And then I left, and now there's no room. There's no room for any of these things. I don't know what I'm going to do. I will catalog and list all of these things right away. I have to before I get to anything else, because I'm up to my ham hocks in books. So, God help us. I will wrap this up for now and try and deal with these things, but I'll be back. Thank you, BookTube.